Welcome guys to another Rayners Racing League here at Belgium Spa-Francorchamps. So we're opening out onto rounds 17 and 18 here at Belgium. Our race today is sponsored by Spa-Francorchamps. It is a cryptocurrency designed to reward those esport racing winners with credits to possibly buy sim racing equipment from such companies that they've got planned, such as Logitech and Fanatec, along with many others. Just quickly before I go into the whole background of the circuit, just quickly reading. So we've got Drew saying evening, we've got Quaduti saying a home GP baby, and asking if Steve is coming, although it's Steve is Hobo, who joined us last week. No, unfortunately Hobo is not able to join us this week. He has got a Mother's Day thing going on. So before going any further, it is Mother's Day, so happy Mother's Day to all those mums out there, grands, or anybody really who is taking that mother role to some little feet. So obviously before we get into the race and that, it is being recently released that a big legend of motorsport, both motorcycle and F1, is unfortunately not with us anymore, which is that of Murray Walker. Now Murray was one of those commentators that just oozed charisma. He just sent all his energy from his voice into that mic to really give F1 a characteristic voice, which through many years it really did need. So just got a comment saying RIP to the legend, doing proud and constant. I do plan to. He's got Murray Walker had his whole thing about being a commentator. It's not just about informing the fans, it's entertaining them, and I have the same kind of idea. I fill myself with knowledge about the tracks, about the circuits that we are going to, the locations, the countries, if I can, about the drivers. Obviously we're doing a esports league, it's quite hard to get to know these drivers personally, but it is something that I do look to do in the future to more. But it is all about the entertainment. It's about how you deliver the information, the race talk. So I will do my best to do him proud. Okay, so Spa-Francorchamps. It is a very long circuit. I'll just say it is 4.35 miles. It is the longest circuit on the calendar. It has 20 turns, that's 11 to the right and 9 to the left. It has had quite a few different configurations, but the biggest one was back in 1979 when they cut the old circuit that used to go through all the villages in the local area. They cut that out and actually dropped it down from 9.31 miles down to the 4.3 that we have today. Obviously there's been alterations like the bus stop chicane to slow drivers coming down the final straight, and then that's been changed to a single chicane. So, it still gets called the bus stop chicane, but that's because the old school fans still know it as the bus stop chicane. Key features of the circuit is the one of the most famous corners in racing history, and that is Eau Rouge. Eau Rouge has been a corner on this track since it started. It used to, when you go down, it's the kink to the left, and then the kink to the right, and over the top right over there, and then onto the Kemmel Straight. That point there, it used to go right to the left and up the hill to the side, and then that used to go into the outside world, basically around the little villages in the area. And yeah, I have been told, I was about to get to that Quaduti. Anton Hubert, who did lose, he was the last person to lose his life here at the circuit. It was a accident that happened at the top of Radium. Radium? It's got L's in there, but it's Radium. Okay, and so it came over the top, it collided and ended up in the water, and it was unfortunate. It actually had a knock-on effect to a lot of drivers throughout the motorsport, and that's including Pierre Gasly, Charles Leclerc, even Tatiana, who was his teammate at the time. Tatiana actually dropped out of F1 and pursued over F2 and pursued other angles for racing, partly affected by that collision. So that's a little bit about the circuit. Now we are opening out to qualifying. Qualifying is standard F2 qualifying, which is a bit of a stint, I would say. It's one of those qualifying that gives the drivers as much chance as possible. They're all in the same car, and it is 30 minutes long to say qualifying. But then it does break up. They break it up because you got a decent length qualifying, followed by the feature race and then a sprint race. See, Quadruti keeps filling me in with little pointers on the chat. A lot of the stuff I already knew, but he's just basically pushing it to get the information out. Can you just let me do my commentary, Quadruti? I'm joking. He is fully knowledgeable, Quadruti, especially about his home circuit. And let's see who is our first driver out. There we go. It's Psycho Tubby is our first driver out. Now let's bring up track map and the lap data, because that's what we need. And as Psycho Tubby is producing an out lap, I will be jumping on board with him when he gets to the start finish line. But what I'm going to do now, I am basically going to read out our standings. Now with the league at the moment, we are at our 9th venue out of 12, so we're at the 3/4 line. So it's going to be a very, very big point now where drivers are going to start thinking about the run into the end. So here we go. So our F2 standings is Rayner in the Univitosi on 203 points, followed closely behind by LH44 in the HWA on 196. Evil Hunter a little bit further behind on 152 in the Trident. Quadruti in the Dams on 134. Apex in the Univitosi on 95 points. Reagan in the Campos on 77. Drew in the Dams on 75. Magnus in the High Tech on 67, followed by his teammate Correct Savant in 35. RG in the Charoz on 32. We've got Nismo in the Charoz on 23, joined with Benjamin Cardiff in the Carlin on 23. Liam in the HWA on 7. We have Green Ace in the Trident on 22. Ooh. I think we found a mistake there. If Green Ace is on 22, he should be up in 13th rather than in 14th, but I'm sure I'll let Psycho Toby carry on round because I've not finished the standings. So Green Ace is actually in 13th on 22, Liam in 14th of 7. We've got Monopono in the Pre-Met on 4. We've got Kyra in the IRT on 4. We've got Jason Woodhouse in the Carlet on 1. And yet still score point is Psycho Tubby in the ARC, Tristan in the Pre-Met, and Tim Guy in the Campos. I do apologise that I missed off that start there with Psycho Tubby, but I will jump on the next person who is going to make a full lap. Current constructor standings, we've got the Univitosi ahead on 298 points, followed by Dams with 209. We've got BWTHWA on 203. We've got Trident on 174, to High Tech on 102, Campos on 77, Chiro on 55, Carlin on 24, Prima on 4, ART on 4. So there is battles up and down. It is still possible for the Univitosi team to be caught, even though they are 89 points ahead, but that is 2 double wins. So the 25 points. Well, you get 4 points for you get 4 points for pole position, 2 points for each fastest lap. So there's 8 points on top of that, plus the 25 plus 15. So that's 40. It's 48 points per race is up for grabs for any one person. So that takes off a huge chunk of that gap if you get that. So what I'm going to do now, I'm actually going to jump back into our comms page, as Psychotobi has put a 158.3. Nice time there by Psychotobi. And Tin Guy on an outlap, I will jump on board with him. Quadruzy actually went and watched one of these tracks here. Got to tell me where Baltus should sit in what corner. And he was too late to see the crash from Anton Hubert. Well, I'll be honest, I'm quite glad. Quite glad. It kind of seeing a crash out in front of you is actually quite scary, especially if you can understand who it is. It does really play with your mind. So I am just going to dropping the link onto the page just because anybody needs to see it. Just bear with me one moment. So here we go. I do apologise again. I missed out while I was there sorting out some links. We've got Nitsmo coming around the last few corners, 10:16. So I'll get on board with him and do a lap run through, as RG has put a 2:04.6, a respectable time from RG. I'm sure he will get faster soon. So here we go. Now it is round for turn 1, the source there with Nismo, as he is opening up his fast lap around turn 2, which doesn't have a name really. It's just a little kink. Now coming up to the one of the most famous corners is Eau Rouge here. Now onto Vadilla. It goes really wide there as he comes onto the Camel Straight. The Camel Straight it's back in 2000. This is where Michael Schumacher tried to defend with Mika Hakkinen and did a 3 wide at this corner here, which is the chicane of the Le Combs. Onto the hairpin at the bottom here, which is Bruxelles. And Bruxelles is a long swooping right hander. You have to go really slow to actually take control of it. About 10-11. and head on down to Poulon. These names are names of local area places, or usually are anyway. There may be some variations to some of them. So now to 14, which 13 and 14, which is campus. Around 10-15, which is a Stavlot. Or Stavlo, sorry, should I say. On to 10-16, which is Curb Paul Ferrer. And then on to 17, Blanchemont. On to 10-18, and now coming up to the chicane, the old bus stop chicane of 10s, 19 and 20. Let's see what Nismo does for his first time. It's a 1:59.2, puts himself. He's invalidated his lap, so that's unfortunate. But he would have been sitting third currently at the moment. And Tim Guy, fantastic time with a 1:57.7. Fantastic time for Tim Guy. Got LH said evening, got Cairo saying evening first. First F2 race on the wheel tonight for LH. LH did spend a little bit of money on getting himself a decent steering wheel setup. Do not blame him. He is committed to a lot of racing, so why not? Jason Woodhouse on an on a fast lap has invalidated, so he will have to go round again. And as Nismo is invalidated his lap again, so I don't know where he's doing that, where he's losing that. But he needs to rein that in if he wants to get a decent time put on the board. On track at the moment. We do have Seiko Tubby, who's back out again for an out lap. We have Jason Woodhouse, who is starting a fast lap now. We've got Green Ace saying evening. We have Nismo, who is still probably nursing that car back so it doesn't do any further tyre wear to do another fast lap. A correct Savant in the high tech there on his out lap. So a few drivers out, we've still got plenty of time. We have 18 minutes left, so that's nearly halfway through. And it looks like we may have another car coming out. We've got, I think it might be Carlin, or Ben Cardiff maybe. It's one of those really slow pit lanes, especially on F2. It's even slower. No, I don't think it was. Let's have a look. It might be. Let's have a look. Green Ace is out. So it's Green Ace. Sorry, Green Ace in the Buenos Aires Trident car. Anybody who actually has been watching the F1 testing, you would have seen that Roy Nissany opened up day one with the Williams team. He's one of the test drivers for Williams. He is also a Williams Academy driver, and on top of that, he still hasn't got his super license yet. So he needs to put in the laps, as many laps as he can really in F1. So you will be seeing him quite a bit, because it looks like him or Jack Aiken could be getting that second spot should George Russell be given a place in Mercedes. Oh, predictions. I'm being asked about predictions at the moment. I'm going to have to give it to LH and Rayner for 1-2 on the podium at the moment. They have been formidable, and as long as LH can get that car sorted, EB in it, and Reagan is also a contender for a podium. So those three for podiums anyway. I'm hoping my man Chris Cairo does get up there, because I have ever since he let me take his car out for a spin on a Wednesday, I've been a big fan of Chris, because I know how tough that car can be at times. Much appreciated, Chris, giving me that chance. I've not raced in a while and he opened the door for me. Oh, so Reagan had outstanding pace in practice. See, I missed practice. If I was there for practice, I would have seen. But yeah, Reagan is absolutely fast. But then, one thing I would say, Reagan has a habit of messing up his qualifying laps. So if he qualifies, then yes, he will get a podium. If he doesn't, it'll be a tough battle. Jason Woodhouse takes podium, takes provisional first place in with a 157.4 in Yuki Tsunoda's Carlin car. Now, it's great that we see Yuki Tsunoda's car here right in front of us, because it means that we can talk about his impressive start with AlphaTauri. The guy is not put much wrong. He's not got the pace that that other cars have, but he's not made a mistake. Right, so I had Kudjuti's just been filling me in that Reagan is so good on this track. He put a 155.0 in time trial. Time trials mean absolutely nothing, Kudjuti. Absolutely nothing. Because it's very different when you're out there on the track from the time trial. I could put a 121 out on a track, and then you put me in a qualifying situation, and I'm struggling to get a 124. So it is a big difference between qualifying and time trial, because time trial is the perfect conditions at all times. Doesn't matter what setting you put in it, they'll automatically put it as a perfect setting. So the tyres will be perfect all the way around. You'll have perfect ERS. You'll have nothing wrong, really. Absolutely nothing wrong. You don't have to worry about fuel. See, 156.6 in practice on medium. See, that's more realistic. That is the realistic time that we're expecting. And Green Ace with a 156.8. So in fact, that's fantastic times. And that is on soft. So we should be seeing a decent time from some drivers who are still yet to come up. We've got Ben Cardiff, who's on an out lap. Nismo is back out again. Let's see if Nismo can actually put in a qualifying time this time. Let's hope he doesn't invalidate his lap. So let's have a look. We've got Apex. Apex is out. Now Apex has probably got like the biggest fan in Rayners Racing League history. I'm hoping for that fan to pop up and cheer you on. And careful Wearings, if she comes on, she might tell him to put you in the ground again. So here we go. We got Apex now going through the 10-10 hairpin. Sorry, I just couldn't get my words out then. We do have Tin Guy, who is now on another fast lap. Now Tin Guy has done well, so it's going to be quite interesting to see how he does. We do have a few times that I will read out in a moment, because we are we've gone past the halfway mark, and we still got a lot of drivers still to put a time out. We've got Green Ace is now coming into the pit. We've got Wearings. Now Wearings is going through turns 13 and 14 there very nicely. He's now going around 10, 15, so it's quite delicate. He is in Robert Schwartzman's Prima. Now, I've got to throw this out there. Now, Robert Schwartzman is another Ferrari Academy driver from Russia. Now, a lot of speculation has come out about the whole Russian flags not allowed in motorsport due to the WADA. And Wormings put a 1:57.7. Fantastic time by Wormings. So, but if you actually have a look, Robert Schwartzman's car does have a look about the Russian flag. So it is white, blue, then red. You can see in a few places that the colour coordination, it is white at the top, there's bits of blue, and then there's red at the bottom. So he gets away with it because he hides the fact he's put the Russian flag into his design, because he does get the drivers do get a choice of what design they put in because of the sponsorships they bring in. It gives them a bit more control over what goes on the car. Which brings me on to the dams of, which I do believe it would be Duty that normally jumps in that dam's car. Oh no, it's Drew that's sort of the number one dam's car with the KFC. I'm surprised they haven't got chicken wings all over it. So I'm going to run through the top to bottom now as we've got 10 minutes left to go. We've got Green Ace on a 1:57.8. We've got Jason Woodhouse on a 1:57.4. Drew on a 1:57.6. We've got Wormings on a 1:57.7. Craig Savant on a 1:57.7. We've got Tinker on a 1:57.7. Psycho Toby on a 1:58.3. And RG on a 2 minutes 4.6. We've got Quadrita now in Dan Tictum's Dam's car. Now Dan Tictum, as an F2 driver, he's a character, very entertaining. But we hope Quadrita can pull off a good spell with him, as we do have Apex, who is coming around the last few corners for his first time to lap. He is a bit slow. Slower than what we are expecting, so I'm guessing this is still just a second warm-up lap. So he will hammer through and go round and put in a faster time, no doubt. So we have Ben Cardiff now, who is on an lap as he goes on 10-11. I do love 10-12 as he's coming up to right now. So 10-12, nice sweeping left-hander. Double apex. Apparently that was the inspiration of turn 8 at Turkey, just so the way it made you feel. But turn 8 in Turkey is just phenomenal. So we got like a lot of drivers on track at the moment. We've got Ben Carter, Reagan, Nismo, Liam, Monopono and Quad Duty all still need to put in a time, but they are all out on track right now. As Monopono seems to be going for a second warm up by the looks of it. So we're on board with Reagan. Let's see what Reagan can do. Let's see if he does impress me enough to say and say, wow, that's an outstanding time. We do have yellow flags in sector 2 and 3, but that won't affect the qualifying time because it will just be drivers getting out the way. Fantastic. Oh, it goes a little bit wide there, does Reagan? I think it was just making sure he stay clear from the car in front. So it will hamper his time, but let's see if he can make any difference coming up the final section of the track. Now this is probably the fastest part of the track, really, apart from the Camel Straight. It just feels a lot faster with the little undulating bumps and that. It does feel a lot faster than the Camel Straight, but it's got to be really fast, as there is a red car that was actually just going right off track. I think that was Wormings getting out of the way. And Reagan takes pole with a 1:56.3. That is an outstanding time by Reagan, and he did go off the track at one point. He still needs to get take 1.3 seconds off his time to beat his time trial time, though. And Quad Duty with 155.8 takes provisional pole. Let's jump on board. It's like we're waiting for Rayner and LH. I know that's LH coming out of the pits now, as you can see. Now LH will be a driver to watch. So we've still got 6 drivers to put in the time. We've got Rayner, Cairo, Nismo, who is on an outlap, Liam, LH on an outlap, and Evil Hunter, who's back in the pits. So we're going to run through as we've got 5 minutes left to go. We're going to run through what's left of what times we have on qualifying. So we have Quad GT in first on 155.8, Reagan in second 156.3. Green Ace on a 156.8 on third. We've got Wormington fourth on 156.9. Jason Woodhouse on a 157.4. Joe on a 157.6. Craig Savant on a 157.7. With Tim Guy 157.7, just 8 thousandths behind Craig Savant. And he is out on a fast lap right now, so it'll be interesting to see how he does there. We've got Psycho Toby on a 158.3. We've got Ben Cardiff on a 2 minute 2.6. RG on a 204.6. We have Apex on a 216.8, and he is on an outlap. I hope he does a good lap here. We've got Monopono, who is now on his faster lap. He is already up a significant amount. It'll be quite interesting to see how Monopono, as we've got Rayner, who's out on an outlap. Cairo still in the pits, coming out now. Come on, Cairo, put in a good lap for us, please. We've got Nisbo on his flying lap right now. Leo, LH, and Evil Hunter all on out laps. Let's jump on board of LH as he's on Elazy's car. There is a little bit of a glitch I can see. Correct Savant believes not being able to improve his time, has dropped out. So Evil Hunter, Liam, Cairo and Rayner are probably going to feel 1 lap shootout. Yeah, I do think there's a little bit of a desync with LH at the moment. As LH now he comes round, let's see what time he gets. 156.3. That's a decent time there from LH, especially being on that wheel. He is 300ths behind, or 25 thousandths behind Reagan. Right, so we are coming up to the last few moments. Let's see, we're going to jump and see if we can jump on with Rayner, because he is one of our championship leader at the moment. So let's see how he can do. He might have enough time to do a second lap if he crosses it soon. He should do, because he's got plenty of time. Very smooth from the Univitosi driver there. .156.4, but Rayner normally what he tends to do is just a banker lap and then pushes it a little bit further. So we could see it taking off a few temps. So that is the end of qualifying. As the drivers do cross that line now, it will be the end. And Nismo is into the pits, still unable to set a time. Liam is at the Coombs at the moment, so he will have to. He's got plenty of time really to get a time in, but it looks a little bit off pace for Liam. LH has managed to put in a 156.0, Reagan 156.1. So there is LH and Quad GT have basically got first and second. That's Rayner able to. Rayner does take a little bit of time off his previous attempt. Let's see if he can take any more off. As it's him and Evil Hunter has invalidated that lap, so he will be in 5th unless Liam can manage to get a stonker of a time in. As he is coming around the final couple of corners, as he crosses the line with a 158.1, so he puts himself in 15th. Let's get back onto Rayner. 156.1, he does take off a bit of time, but unfortunately not able to jump over past Reagan or LH. And that is the roundup of our times. We do have Quadriti in first, followed by LH in second, Reagan in third, Rayner in fourth, Eva Hunter in fifth. And Green Ace is satisfied with Collie with 6th. That's actually quite a decent time. Trident hold so 5th for Evil Hunter, 6th for Green Ace, both in the Tridents. So the Tridents actually performed really well here. 7th for Wormings, 8th for Apex. Very well done to Apex. Cairo, my man, he's in 9th in the ARC. We have Jason Woodhouse in 10th, Drew in 11th, Correct Savant in 12th, Tin Guy in 13th, Monopod in 14th, Liam in 15th. We have Psycho Toby in 16th, Ben Cardiff in 17th, RG in 18th, 19th going to Nismo, 20th to Magnus. So with Quad Duty getting a fantastic time there of 155.8, gives him the 4 points for qualifying, and he is our Sim Racer Coin pole position winner. Absolutely fantastic. Well done, Quad GT. Just waiting for the start of our qualifying, the start of our feature race now that the qualifying's over. And we got Ashley Armstrong who's saying good luck to guys. Hello Ashley, thank you for joining the stream. Just let us know what's your PSN so I can keep an eye on who you are, see how you're doing. And best of luck to yourself if you are racing. If not, just tell us who you're supporting. As we are waiting for a few players. There we go. So we have got the formation lap for F2. As we can see, there's a little bit of a desync with LH. Hopefully it doesn't make too much of an issue on track. As LH has somehow got in front of Quad Duty. To apologise, I just had to just send a message to someone as we are halfway around the formation lap. Now this is with the F2 because they don't have tyre blankets. It's down to the driver's crafting to actually put in a decent amount of heat into those tyres. The harder the tyre, the more effort you have to put in to get the heat in there. What we'll do now is we'll have a look and see what strategy people have gone for. So we've got Quad GT. Also, everybody's on soft tyres apart from LH, Reagan, Cairo. So they've gone for the alternative strategy. I'm not too sure whether the alternative strategy will be the one for it. It all depends whether there's a safety car. We have 13 laps, so you're looking at 5 laps on the soft tyre and 8 laps on the hard. Okay, so they're all lining up now into the grid. My eyes are going to be on Rayner at the moment as we are waiting for the lights. Let's drop. Let's hide all this as we have a clear view of the start. It's quite important that everybody gets a really good start as we're waiting for the lights to come up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. Pause and go, 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 go! And we do have it open up with Quad Duty first into the source, very closely followed behind by LH. And we do have ghosting effect on the majority of the cars. Right, as we bring up the menu, I'm hoping there is it all syncs back back in, and it does. It's thankfully we're back in. So Rayner has made a fantastic move up. He's in second now. as Evil Hunter is trying to make a pass by LH. A glitch in LH is still battling in there, and he's managed to hang in there, and Evil Hunter has absolutely danced it into third. Fantastic move by those two drivers there with the soft tyres. They had the advantage, so they've got to make it happen. Rayner now is looking to close that gap down to Quad Duty, who is starting to open a little bit of a gap, but Rayner is still clawing. And then you can tell there's a decent glitch because a lot of these times are very, very similar. The time differences between the drivers, and it's not a coincidence that it works like that. It's just the fact that we are having a few technical issues. So it looks like LH has got his connection back up to scratch. We do have a Codemasters lobby glitch all the time because LH is not showing any time difference. And Apex already with a 3-second time warning. Time penalty. Unfortunately for our man there. So we are on lap 2 now. It came to say it says lap 3, but we are actually only on lap 2. Hopefully, by the time Rayner gets all the way round, it will correct itself. So Rayner is still in second. Tim Guy is nowhere near that top guy, so he is still behind Drew, so he's in 12th. This is the issue that we have where the timing glitch. Tim Guy is in 11th, sorry. So it's timing glitches for you. It absolutely wrecks your head when you are commentating. We do have Kirk Savant, who's also got a penalty there. And it's good to see that we actually do have a full grid, so someone has joined us a little bit late. I will work out who that is. It was Magnus. Magnus joining late. So we're going to have a look. We'll do some position changes. So currently at the moment with Magnus, absolutely on a stormer. He is looking to get his high tech into those points places. He needs to get 8th to give himself a shot at the sprint race, because it is going to be tough for him to get to a podium currently at the moment. But never say never. These cars do swap and change positions all the time. So run from the top to the bottom of position change. So we got Quad Duty, who's still where you started. Rayners up 2, Evil Hunt up 2, LH down 2, Reagan down 2. That's our top 5. Wormings has worked his way up to 1 place, as Reagan's managed to get past LH into 4th. A fantastic move in the chicane there, and Rayner with the fastest lap so far of 158.8. I'm sure we're going to get faster laps times further through the race. So Wormings in 6th up 1 place, Cairo up 2 places, Apex exactly where he started, and he's got Green Ace for company right behind him, who is down 3 places, so he'll be looking to get those back. Drew up 1 place, Monopono up 3, and Magnus up 8. He started at the back and he's working his way through. Now Magnus now all over the back of Monopono. Hopefully Magnus doesn't stick it to the wall like he always does. We've got Seiko Toby, who's down up 3 places. Tim Guy down 1, he's now in 14th. Nismo up 4 after starting without able to put in a qualifying time. Is up 4 places, so great craftsmanship from Nismo. As we do have RG, who's up 2 places. Liam up down 2, Ben Cardiff down 1, Craig Savant down 7, and we've got Jason Woodhouse must have had an incident because he's down 10 places. So I've got back onto the leaderboard lead. We've got Rayner, who is still 0.7 of a second behind Quad Duty. It just keeps moving up and down on that, at that mark, and Evil Hunter's the same gap behind. Reagan's is looking to start crawling that gap back on those medium tyres, as these soft tyres will start to ache a little now, coming up to where I'd say half-life time. So this is where the drivers on those soft tyres will start to think about when they are going to pit. They are 3 laps in on those tyres. We're on lap 4 of 13. Absolutely fantastic effort from drivers here. It's battles galore up and down as LH, look at this. He is Kevil straight battle for LH. Absolutely fantastic. As he goes around the outside, these two cars are... And LH, who says he's on his wheel, is absolutely battling it strong. And he gets put a little bit wide by Reagan. Reagan does muscled his way through. Give LH a little bit of a shove. LH getting himself out there. And we've got Shell in the chat saying, "Go Apex." Welcome, Shell, to the stream. Thank you very much for joining us and commenting. Apex still in 8th though, so at the moment. So cheer him on. He might actually start climbing the places like he does every single week that you do cheer him on. So we've got Rayners now, who is slowly catching up again with Quad Duty, and Evil Hunter is not out of it. He's still there. He looks like he could get a chance. We do have Apex, who's chasing out, who's right behind Wormings, and we've got David Gingell, who says he's watching. Come on. Okay, David, let us know who you're rooting for. And also let us know how you think the race is going. So Apex he jumps into the pits. He goes for the early pit stop, so he will be getting a brave move by Apex. So we've got to jump back on board with the front runners, because we do have Evil Hunter has jumped into the pits as well, so he's gone onto the mediums. So a couple of drivers jumped in onto the with those soft tyres to get onto the mediums a little bit earlier than what I anticipated. I do believe it will be this lap, lap 5 or lap 6, that the drivers would tend to do that. As we are on lap 5 of 13. We'll just have a look to see where the battles are. LH is still battling it with Reagan. LH with a penalty now. We've got quite a few penalties. Obviously that'll be track limits more than anything else. Let's have a quick little look to see that. Yeah, track penalties. Psycho top with 18 seconds worth of penalties. I will be jumping on the race director to have a look at that, but there is quite a lot of people exploiting track limits at the moment. David is an Apex and Nismo fan, so he's quite enjoying, keeps cheering them on. That's fantastic. Thanks, David. Goes so far so good, he says. So Apex down at 17th, but he's already done his pit stop, so he will be jumping a lot of these drivers ahead of him. All he needs to do is just get a good run with those medium tyres. So Rayners had a bit of a spin. Rayners been disqualified from the session. I'm not too sure why, but it means that Rayners will not be able to score any points. So currently at the moment now we've got Reagan, who's in the lead, with LH in second, Cairo in third. The guys who started on medium tyres are leading the way with Drew a little bit further behind on 5-lap-old soft tyres. Liam in 5th with the same type of tyres. We've got Quad Duty leading the pit strategy at the moment, with Evil Hunter just just behind him. So the early pit stop by Evil Hunter didn't actually make any difference really to the position. He was roughly about 6 tenths behind Quad Duty, but he has got the run on Quad Duty. Can he get an overtake done in this lap? I do want to find out what happened to Rayner, but this is a fantastic view, I've got to say. We can see that gap between Quad Duty and Evil Hunter there, as Evil Hunter comes in quite strong into the hairpin, but handles it really well, but then as the gap opens up again, as you expect, the concertina effect of going in and out of corners. But it's all about the exit. If Evil Hunter gets a better exit than Quad Duty, he will keep that gap closed. Waring's currently in 8th with a fresh pit stop. So the early pit stop, it didn't really work so well for Apex. Apex down at 12th with RG, Green Ace and Magnus now above. It's unfortunate, but Apex is not going to go away. He's going to battle his way up through, and I'm sure he will get himself up there. So LH now looking to get a pass. He doesn't he's not able to get a pass in on. As you can see, that LH has got low connectivity. As you can see with the bars above his head on an aim, but it doesn't mean he can't race. But fantastic pass by LH using DRS and the outside to get himself through. We've got a little bit of jostling around down here as Green Ace has go around, and we've got Drew and Liam both gone into pit, both serving a pit stop penalty. Fresh medium tyres. So back to the front, battle at the front. So we've got Reagan now, who it looks like he's losing a bit of distance to LH. We are going to be expecting these to pit in the next 2 to 3 laps. So it'll be quite important there. But Reagan just has to stay within 3 seconds of... Oh, he gets a penalty. And so does Apex. The ground's all even at the front now with the penalties going to near enough everybody apart from Quad Duty and Mono Pono. Now Evil Hunter has managed to get past Quad Duty. Now Quad Duty did have a whole lap where he had to try and get heat into his tyres. So Evil Hunter did have that little bit advantage with warmer tyres. As Quad Duty is looking to get past Evil Hunter. Both got quite an even exit out of that corner, but it is all bound to the end. The entry, as Quad Duty does give Evil Hunter the space as he goes for the switch. It doesn't. I thought he was going for the switch back there, but then he'll know he just stays behind Evil Hunter. He will get DRS going all along the Camel Straight. He is a little bit faster than Evil Hunter. So it'll be quite interesting to see how that battle goes through to Lecombs. Rayner, if you are listening, buddy, could you please let us know what you think of what happened? I know you got disqualified and it looked like you were stuck in the pit lane for some reason. But just let us know exactly what happened, and just so our viewers can understand. As I'm going to run down and see if Quad Duty does make it past Evil Hunter at the Camel Straight and through the comes. Magnus has got past Green Ace. Now Magnus is now looking to get past Wormings. He's got 2 seconds to get there to get close enough. And we have an incident at turn 1. Correct Savant. Correct Savant looked like he spun out. But now he's got a bit of gap now to catch up with Ben Cardiff. And Ben Cardiff got a chasm to bridge to get to Tim Guy. So we've got more penalties for multiple warners. I can expect that we may have more disqualifications with the way the penalties are adding up. So Apex is now into the points positions. He's worked his way through and he's done fantastically well to get up there. He's still got a bit of work to do to get himself back up to 8th where he was, because 8th will be ideal for him to get into that switch position to get pole for the next race, as we are around lap 9 of 13. We've got 5 laps including this one to go, and Cairo out in the lead at the moment. But he still hasn't pitted on those medium tyres, which I think is fantastic. I think he's got the right idea. It gives his soft tyres the most life it can. But when he does pit, he will be coming out probably around next to Wormings, who is actually having a fantastic race. Come on, Cairo, put in a stellar effort, my friend, and we'll be really happy with that. Call Duty and Eva Hunter. This battle for first is getting hotter and hotter. These two are actually battling for third in the championship. So, they are battling for the potentially the race win, really, because Cairo will drop down roughly about 26 seconds after his pit stop, which is he going to go into now, because he is 18 seconds ahead, which means he'll drop out 8 seconds, so he will get sick. He'll be sitting in 5th. And he jumps into pit, and Magnus with another time penalty. I'll be honest, I'm quite surprised that Magnus hasn't hit a wall yet. Oh, Cairo! Cairo picks up a 5-second penalty for speed in the pit lane. It's just unbelievable. Now, Kojuti managed to get the lead off Eva Hunter. And Reagan's in the mix with him. Reagan powering through. It's a three-way battle for the lead. Somehow Quaduti's managed to stay out in front. Eva Hunter and Reagan battling out between them. I'm going to jump on with LH, because LH is now going to join the party. Absolutely fantastic. This is a 4-way battle for the lead. With Reagan and LH on the soft tyres, they will just have to look for the opportunity to get the move done. And a bit of glitchiness. Oh no! Reagan, what happened? The Jack Aikinism has hit him. Oh no. Don't like seeing that, but that means that he's got to go and start working hard to get back. I don't know if he's got damage. I hope he has it. It doesn't look like he's got any damage. No damage, thankfully. He just had a bit of a spin. Hopefully he's got a bit of a penalty as well. So that's going to come into effect as well at the end. Eva Hunter is losing ground to Quadjuti. Quadjuti is opening up a bit more. And we've got LH with another 3-second time penalty. As I said, the penalties are gathering up. Let's have a look. Because the only two people who haven't got penalty at the moment is Monopod and Quadjuti. Penalties so far. So Eva Hunter with 3, LH with 6, Reagan with 6, Cairo with 8, Magnus with 6. So Magnus needs to be within 2 seconds of Cairo to actually then jump into 5th. Wormings with 6, Green Ace with 9, RG with 6, Apex with 6, Jason Woodhouse with 6. So it's quite even. Monopono without a penalty was fantastic, but he does need to start catch up with Jason Woodhouse, overtake him to start seeing if he can get into those point positions, because right now he'll only get 11th. Nismo with 6, Drew with 9. No, it was 6, it's just jumped up to 9. Tin Guy with 9. We've got Psycho Tubby with 19, and I do know he has served some of his penalties. because he was on 18 and they don't do it in single digits, single seconds penalties. It's always 3 or 5. So it'll be 2 5-second penalties and 3 3-second penalties, and another timing glitch, as we could expect from Codemasters. So right now everybody has completed their stop, so we don't have to worry about that now. But what we do have to look at is those guys who are on. We've got the 2 leaders on medium tyres, and then we've got LH, Reagan and Cairo all on the softs. So let's jump on board with Quadruti, as LH is right behind them, and you've got Evil Hunter to try and contend with to get the pole. He's got 2.5 laps to go to take that winning position away from Evil Hunter. Absolutely fantastic, stellar effort from all our drivers today. We've got to jump on board with Magnus, who I would say is my driver of the day so far. I will discount any penalties in my mind, because it is, unless they are the 5-second penalties, which are basically down due to your own personal errors. But Magnus had a stellar drive all the way from 20th to 6th. Absolutely fantastic. And Quadruti picks up a penalty. So Monopono is the only person without a penalty so far, which then gives Evil Hunter a little bit of a moment to relax. He doesn't have to worry about building up that distance. Let's have a look again at penalties. Yeah, so Evil Hunter, he's got 2 laps to make it happen on track. I've jumped on board with Evil Hunter because of Quadruti, because I want to see how he does with Evil Hunter. Evil Hunter can just let him go past. Let him go past. Don't battle him. Get him on the next lap. Because that's exactly what I would do. I would get him on the next lap. It's quite tough to overtake on the start-finish straight, even though it is a short DRS zone, because you've got to think about that braking at the end of it. It's all about position on that part of the circuit. Evil Hunter is still in there to grasp it. Green Ace. Green Ace could take the extra points away from RG if he gets the move made done in the next lap and a half. Monopono in 10th, last points position. Huge gap to Apex. Apex has got 2 seconds to get on Green Ace. He will get him if he stays without 2 seconds to get back into 8th, which means he hasn't lost the place or gained places really in the race. But that 3 seconds, he's got to keep that within his car within 3 seconds of Green Ace. Let's have a look. We'll go jumping back on board with Quadruti. My question would be, if Rayners was still involved, what would it be like now? So Evil Hunter he's got to think about the defense of LH, which is LH is a little bit further back, but it doesn't look like he's going to get that move done on Quadruti on the Camel Straight. He will have to hone in and try and get him just before the finish line if possible. But Quadruti's got to breathe a little sigh of relief, the fact that Evil Hunter was a little bit far away to actually make a move happen. It does look more and more unlikely as this lap does progress. But Quadruti goes a little bit wide for turn 10. Evil Hunter closing that door. Closing the gap. So just less than half a second, which means that Quadruti needs to think not to make any more mistakes, because it could just give him, which could just make him lose the whole of the basically a whole podium if he really does a bad mistake, but could knock him off first place because Evil Hunter is closing in. I'm going to jump on board of LH because LH, even though it's not showing up, it's like he is glitching, he is desynced. I'm not too sure what's going on with Evil Hunter. Not Evil Hunter, LH, but Quad Duty is coming around the final two, couple of bends on the chicane. Goes round. I don't think Evil Hunter is able to do it and make anything happen. And LH, so we've got Quad Duty in first, Evil Hunter in second, Saint Vegas in third, but I do believe that's LH. Kyra in fourth, Magnus in fifth. But Magnus will lose that to Wormings. Wormings in fifth, Magnus in sixth. RG in 7th, Green Ace, RG in 7th, Apex in 8th, Green Ace in 9th, Monopono will come in 10th. Jason Woodhouse in 11th, and Nisbo's come round. Nisbo in 12th. So Tin Guy in 12th, Nismo in 13th, Drew in 14th, Psycho Tubby in 15th. We've got Liam, who will come round in 16th. We have Correct Savant on 17th, and we're just waiting for the final runner of Ben Cardiff to come round. So obviously with a bit of a glitch going on, we are waiting for LH to get himself back around to the finish line. Finally now the game has decided to let us to end that now, as our podium sitters have taken the steps on the podium. Quad GT taking the win. We do have driver Reagan could have won it if he didn't spin at the comes. Rayner could have won it if it wasn't for the game glitching and telling him that he's disqualified. So we've got Quadruti in first, second Evil Hunter, third Reagan, fourth Cairo, Wermins in fifth, Magnus in sixth, RG in seventh, Apex in eighth, and now they will be reversed for the next race. So Apex will start in pole, ninth for Green Ace, and the final points position goes to Monopoly. We've got Jason Woodhouse in 11th, Tin Guy in 12th, 13th for Nismo, Drew in 14th, Psycho Tubby in 15th, Liam in 16th, Correct Savant in 17th, Ben Cardiff in 18th, LH in 19th, although he did actually finish 3rd, and Rayner in disqualified. So yeah, if we add one position onto everybody from Reagan down, that will be the true positions. So yeah, LH did finish 3rd. It was due to a glitch, but we could also just wind him up in terms of because of his connection. It was his fault that he lost the race. Be quite interesting to find out where they actually stick him. Imagine if the game just basically just threw him back to the back with Rayner. That'd be interesting indeed, watching Rayner and LH battle all the way through the grid. So formation lap is happening, and yes, it has. The game has stuck LH at the very back. Again, as you can see, LH's connection is down. RG has been disqualified for not moving off the line. So formation lap is quite important again. So we've got Apex now just leading the way up at the Camel Straight. I'm not too sure whether I like the F2 wing, rear wing. I know I did like the Renault wing, and I was looking at Apex's car, looking at that rear wing. It looks good, but then so does every other wing. I do think the AR2 does have a nice rear wing. Do like the dams. The dams is just plain black wing. So it's the Trident. So Apex now in pole. He's got 9 laps to hold out. 9 laps. I do think he can do it. He's got the ability to do it. Magnus in 3rd currently. I think Magnus may upset the show. So we are coming up to the last couple of corners for our guys to get onto the grid, as we are about to start round 18 here at Belgium. a nice view of the Univertosa car like that. You can just see absolutely everything. It works really well. Colour scheme's fantastic. Apex's helmet looks a bit like Optimus Prime. As we are waiting for the lights to start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. Pause. We're out. And away we go. Go, 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 go. So obviously with the timing glitch, Apex is in first place still. And it looks like Magnus has made the jump into second. And he is looking for a very quick move around Apex. And we've got a safety car, safety car, safety car. And we've got Monopono who's crashed, and Rayners is out. Absolutely bizarre string event, and that was a bit weird because that was a glitch there. Because he's just basically jumped from Eau Rouge up to the top of it with him. So this will be a few laps of safety car. This is playing to the hand of Apex, really giving him a few less laps for him to lose places to the faster drivers of Magnus Quad GT. But LH, who is now up into 12th place, is going to be sitting there quite happily with the whole effort of getting up there. But oh my goodness, I can't believe the whole thing with Rayners being out is unbelievable. Can't believe it. It's just wow. And we've got Sizen saying, no, not Rayners again. That's absolutely true. It's unbelievable. Now, it's sad to see the fact that Rayners has lost out on both races. Both not down to his fault, but as far as I'm aware. First one was a disqualification because there was some kind of glitch. When we have one glitchy car on the grid or in the lobby, it does affect everyone. And that's what I think it was. I think it was just a glitch that forced Rayners to be disqualified. Because when I was on it, he was side on in the pit lane, and then all of a sudden he was out on circuit. It's just a bizarre moment. But now we are gathered up behind the safety car now. Apex leading the way to join the safety car for a few laps around. Few laps around the Belgium circuit, which it's going to take a while. It's a long circuit indeed. We are just still going round this very long Belgium circuit. It's just one of a procession behind the safety car is a long state of affair. So, I'll be honest, I'm running out of things we could talk about regarding the whole event of the race. I did absolutely completely got to. We've got Drew, who's also out. I think Drew actually retired in the pits. But the fact that Rayner has been taken out again, or taken out of the race again, it's really sad to see. So we have so in the first race, feature race, with it won by Quad Duty. Quad Duty has won a home race, which is great to see. So we're still waiting. Lap 3 of 9. I'm hoping the safety car will be in at this lap, because it is a very long lap, so all the cars are pretty much bunched together, so I can't see why not. So with Quad Duty getting the win, it gives him 25 points, which puts him on 159 points. But Evil Hunter with the 18 will put him on 160, so it is very close. It'll be 1 point in it. Oh, no, it'll be 11 points in it between the two drivers. LH, with him finishing third, would have got 15 points, which puts him on 111 points, which puts him in front of Rayner, which unfortunately Rayner is unable to defend that when being knocked out. It doesn't do much for the constructors. It does mean that the gap between the Dams and the Univitosi would have dropped significantly. So, safety car is in, and we're back racing again. Apex taking the decision to go straight after the chicane, has basically held that position away from Magnus. Now Magnus will work hard to try and get past Apex. Now he's got 6 laps to do this. Apex taking a nice line for Dion. Goes along the outside. A little bit of squeezing from Apex. Very, very, very fair racing between the two drivers. And it's 3 wide. It's 3 wide. It's got to be careful here. As you can see, it's the front 4 drivers are so close within each other. But Magnus has managed to get a bit of a lead going. Apex holding on second with Kairos right behind him. Got comments from Drew saying Shambles. Okay, Drew, if you don't mind sharing what happened, just drop us a message, let us know, so I can work out what happened myself and distribute it to the viewers if it is something that they would need to hear. Shell is cheering on Apex again, and Apex managed to get in front of Magnus, and Ikaru's managed to jump them both, but Apex gets a very good exit and is back in front. Apex, what a move by Apex! Fantastic. And it is this battle out at the front is between Apex, Ikaru and Magnus, and they all take 3 different lines going through La Source. Absolutely fantastic. I know this battle's all the way up and down because LH is now in 10th. Reagan and 9th, they are closing down to Quadruti, who is right behind Jason Woodhouse. So with these fast drivers getting past Jason Woodhouse, they will be start closing into the top 3 guys here who are battling a hard. Apex managing all this is lap 5 of 9. We've got David saying, "Come on, Mr. G." David and Shell are cheering on Apex. I'll be honest, I'm a Cairo fan myself, but Apex deserves a win as well. He is a phenomenal racer, especially considering that he does admit that he is more of a mid-pack racer himself, but he is doing well holding himself out in front, with Magnus dropping down a little bit because Cairo's managed to, and Cairo gets a 3-second time penalty. That's really unfortunate, but penalties do come quite quickly with a lot of drivers. I'm going to shift down to see where the LH is right behind Reagan, who's right behind Quadrita, who's right behind Jason Waddles, who's right behind Evil Hunter, who's right behind Green Ace. It's a train there from Green Ace, so Green Ace has got to defend well, but as he defends, all these other drivers behind him are bunching up a bit closer, which means he's got a pack of lions right behind him to tear him apart if he makes one mistake. Now Wormings has got a little bit of a buffer zone behind him, but he also has a penalty, which means he will be dropping if they are close enough. He has got a bit of work to do to catch up with Magnus, who is looking to get past Cairo, but Apex and Cairo battling again at the chicane, and that just invites Magnus to join the party, and Wormings is not that far behind either. Absolutely fantastic ability there. Apex drops down to 3rd, but that he won't be there for long because he's still within it, and as he battles it through, he will get DRS when he gets to the top of Radium. Absolutely fantastic. Great exit by Apex. Magnus does have to give him a bit of space. Magnus moves over. Oh no, Magnus. That was actually quite severe. That it could have took Apex off. It does disrupt his speed, but that was kind of like remnants of Mika Hakkinen, and like I said, and Magnus cuts across that corner. Absolutely, he should be giving that place back because that was unbelievable. That's an unbelievable cut of the corner there by Magnus. That is unreal. Apex absolutely battling hard. Now, you see at the bottom here that Nisma is out of the race. I think he has retired in the pits because there was no yellow flag for that. I don't think there's any adjustment because LH has dropped out into the 11th. Quadruti is now up into 7th. He's managed to get past Jason Woodhouse. He's now on the path for Green Ace. He wants to take down the Danish Viking as soon as he can, so he can start looking at that battle in front, because he can see it just ahead of him. You can see there is the battle in front of him as we go along in front. Now Magnus managing to get a bit of a lead on Apex, but Apex is closing them in. Now Magnus really did took a massive cut on that corner. He may say it was down to not enough room, but he was on the far outside of a 3-wide train. I am going to quickly check the penalties. Bit shocking he only got a 3-second time penalty for that, but I am sure with an investigation by the stewards that may happen. It would just be the fact that Apex would need to put that through if he believes that he's lost the lead lost it because of that. I know I would. And we've got Psycho Tubby, who's got 5-second penalty for speeding the pit line. That's kind of a schoolboy error. As we've got Apex now, who's roaring past Magnus. Now let's see how he handles going through the Lacombs. And Magnus has decided to take that a bit slower. And Jason Woodhouse with a 5-second penalty for corner cut, and that would be up at the top of the Lacombs. Absolutely fantastic by Apex getting into first. All he has got to do is hold it up for another 2.5 laps, and he will have the win. Why does a track like that look like an Uzi? It really does. It does. It's like the Mac 10 that you get on Call of Duty. When I was a kid, when I seen this track the way it is now, I used to think it did look like an Uzi. It was my favourite track because of that. And then you learn more and more about the track, and you just fall in love with it even more, just because of how much you learn about it and how much history is in that track and the surrounding areas. It's fantastic. As we do have a bit of battling around, LH has managed to weasel his way through up into 9th. Reagan's dropped down into 13th. I'm not too sure what happened there, but that is unfortunate for Green Ace with a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, which basically gives Quad Duty the open door to take that place. Quad Duty with a 3-second time penalty for cutting the corners. That was down in the chicane. It was the slowest corner in the circuit, and he cut it. I don't know how he does it, but he does. Quad Duty needs to start building up momentum to get past Green Ace and then onto Wormings to get himself in the battle for the top 4. Now, as you can see, we've got Magnus who's dropped down a fair bit now. I do hope that things do sort themselves out today. Hopefully we have a proper understanding of what's happened earlier on in the race. We've got more cheering on from an Apex super fan, David. Oh my god, we've got 2 laps remaining, 2 laps, and we do have a yellow flag up at the Lacombs, but that is cleared up quite quickly, so that's fantastic. We do have 16 drivers remaining, 15 drivers remaining. That's Jason Woodhouse as DNF'd. He crashed out at Bruxelles. Bruxelles being the right hand of the hairpin after Lacombs, sorry. So that does mean that we do have we have 15 drivers left remaining for 8 point places. Get my words out, I'm stuttering all over the place. But Magnus is now slowly catching up with Apex. Apex has just got to hold off for another lap and a bit to actually win the sprint race. Shell saying Apex number 1. I do believe Apex can do it. He just needs to get that gap and keep it. As we go through Dion. And now onto the Camel Straight. Now this is where I'm going to jump on board with Magnus as Magnus is closing in. And oh! They come together there a little bit. And it does look like Apex may hold off the win because now Magnus is down into 7th. And he's got LH for company. Evil Hunter, who is now in 2nd. Could be taking this away from Apex because he hasn't got a penalty. All Evil Hunter has to do is stay within that 3-second gap behind Apex, and he will just leapfrog him at the end. But if Evil Hunter does get to pick up that penalty, he will then lose the opportunity to take first place. it's quite a delicate moment now because we do not know who. So if, even though Apex is well and truly ahead, he may not hold the position if Evil Hunter keeps it clean through the last few corners. And there's a little bit of a tag. Cairo is tagged Evil Hunter. So Apex crosses the line first, but Evil Hunter does take first. So it's Evil Hunter, Apex, and Quad Duty gets third. LH in fourth. Toon Guy in fifth. Magnus in sixth. Green Ace in seventh, and Cairo in the last points position in eighth. Wormings ninth. JRG in 10th, Monopono in 11th, Correct Savant in 12th, Ben Cardiff in 13th, Liam in 14th, and Psycho Toby in 15th. With Jason Woodhouse, Regan, Nismo, Drew and Rayner all unable to complete the race. That was a fantastic, epic end. Well done to Apex. A message from Shell. That was a fantastic race. Unfortunate about the penalties that actually did change the ending there. Unfortunate to Magnus, who got spun out at Lecombs, but then he did cut the corner. So if there is an investigation going to happen, it might be going both ways. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much for everybody who's joined us today with the comments. Special to Shell and David, who were fantastic. They're just throwing a comment in all the way through. LH driver of the day, I do agree, it's between LH and Evil Hunter. Evil Hunter probably for the first one, LH for the second one, because that was a hell of a drive by LH to get himself back up after the game threw him to the bottom. The double podium for Quad Duty at the home event. Well done, Quad Duty. Driver of the weekend there, definitely, with the double podium. And Evil Hunter as well. Evil Hunter, a double podium as well. So that is the end of our F2 race session. So one last run through the positions. So we've got Evil Hunter in first, Apex in second, Quad Duty in third, fourth LH, Toon Guy in fifth, Magnus in sixth, Green Ace in seventh, Cairo in eighth, Wormings in ninth, RG in 10th, Monopono in 11th, Correct Savant in 12th, 13th for Ben Carter, 14th for Liam, 15th for Psycho Toby, and we have Jason Woodhouse, Regan, Nismo, Drew, Rayner unable to complete the race. So as you can see the standards, Quad Duty with 39 points and Evil Hunter with 33, which means that these two, it's just like Quad Duty has called in 6 points, LH with 10 points through the whole weekend. It won't be 10 points. It'll be 10 points for that one race because he did get third, so he will be on 25 points, which means he does leapfrog Rayner in the standings. Now, I will say that, like, thank you very much to everybody who's tuned in. Thank you to all the drivers who had a fantastic, great race with great competitive. Unfortunately, we did have to see a few incidents that will be addressed by the stewards. Thank you very much to everybody who's commented and liked our feed. Please join us again next week, because next week is truly going to be another spectacle to watch. It's our next location is Italy. Monza. Everybody loves a bit of Monza. Definitely something for you to join us with. Our final 3 rounds are Monza, Sochi and Abu Dhabi. So at least I get to enjoy one of the 3. So again, I thank you all very, very much for joining us today. I do hope to see you again next week. Congratulations to all our podium sitters and all our racers today. My name's been Ferret. Thank you very much for joining me. This has been Rayners Racing League F2 Sunday nights, sponsored by SimRacerCoin, a cryptocurrency designed to reward our racers with cryptocurrency to purchase sim racing equipment such as monitors, steering wheel, seats, even clothing by the way, by the looks of the plans. But thank you very much again for joining us, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye.